marketing. You will also learn a couple of strategy techniques to monetize your digital efforts, gain insights into effective marketing strategies, and discover how to leverage various monetization tools. So I would say get ready to take notes, ask questions, and most importantly, have fun as we explore this very cool insights. Without further ado, let's welcome John Lee to the session. Welcome, John.
Hello, buddy. Well, thank you so much. I've always loved your introductions and really.
Exactly. I'm always assigned in this way somehow.
Well, listen, thank you for everybody again and welcome to this session. I'm super excited about this. Why? Because now we talk a lot about the monetization. So I want to get straight into this because I know there is limited time. So let's get into this. First, if you can hear me okay, just give me a yes if you can hear me okay. Just give me a yes, just type into the chat.
Yes, everything is okay with the sound and also image. Yes, we can move.
Fantastic, awesome, excellent. All right, so let's talk about monetizing digital and social media marketing. Now, in the previous session, I gave you some strategies where a lot of you can really start to get the concept of all the different ways you can make money. So today I want to talk about how do we actually start monetizing and also doing the marketing on social media. So the first strategy I've got for you is if we want to market on social media, one of the best ways to market on social media is called short form content. Now, why is short form content so important? And this is where I'm super excited for all of you. Because if you look at most ways things are done on social media, let's say this is you here, and let's say you have 1,000 followers. That means when you make a post, only these people see your followers, right? So we don't actually want that. What we want is we want to be able to have 1,000 followers, but let's say this is Instagram and Instagram's got 1 billion users. We don't actually want to show it to our million followers, to our 1,000 followers. We want to show it to Instagram's 1 billion followers. So this is why I think it's really important that we are not just creating content for the sake of creating content, we're creating content to get the reach. And that's the most important part of what I'm kind of want to share with you right now. Now, if I was to say to all of you that there are different ways to start monetizing, there are different ways to market on social media, but the crucial part of this, and this is what we need to understand, is we don't really need followers. What we want is we want the reach. I don't care if I'm not getting any likes, engagement, things like that. What I care about is anyone actually watching the content, and is social media is it being served to another audience? That's what I want. I want to make sure is it reaching people? So the most important part when it comes to social media marketing is the reach. Everyone type in the word reach. We want to get the reach in this, okay? Now, when we talk about short form content, people are like, well, John, I don't really have time to do short form content, okay? Well, I'm busy too, right? So there's got to be a way, this way we use AI to do this. So first step is we want to create a long form content. You say, well, John, did you just talk about short form? Yes, but the reason why we create the long form is so then we can create the short form, right? And I'm kind of doing this back to front, just so you can see the power of this. So long form content, and then we're going to use a software called Video.ai. And what Video.ai will do, it will cut small pieces of content from one piece of content. So in this case, I'm going to get between 5 to 10 pieces of short form, right? By using this specific strategy. So how do we do this? Well, if I go to YouTube now, so this is my YouTube channel. Oh, let me close this for a second. This is my YouTube channel. So let's take a piece of content. Let's take this one, for example. So this one I filmed whilst I was here, right? So I filmed this the other day. It's a piece of content.
How do you stay more committed to get stuff done? In the last 20 years, I figured out there's certain things that we do that get.
So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna copy this, right? And then I'm gonna go into video here, and I'm gonna click new project. Then what it says enter YouTube link. So if I paste it in there like that, I literally have just copied my YouTube video here, which is 10 minutes long. And then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take that video, put it into video here, and I click import. So now it's going to take my YouTube video and it's going to transcribe and cut that video into different pieces of content. Now, why is this important? Because short form content, remember, is all about reach, right? We want to create a lot of reach. So the way it works is it works based on delayed explosion, right? So, and again, I talked about this before, but let me go into a little detail on how this works. So when you watch a piece of content, it will show to a certain amount of people on Instagram. People watch it again, it shows to another group of people. It shows again, and people go to here. That's why when you create the reels, it shouldn't always like be a natural start and finish. You just start like mid-sentence, right? Because then what happens is people go, does that start, is that the end? Like, because if you make it look like the start and the end, it doesn't work. So that's why if I go back to this now, video, so this is one that I did earlier. So you can see it's taken one piece of content. If I click play,
the first thing you can do straight away is do freelancing. There are lots of websites like freelancer.com, upwork.com, and these websites, they allow you to get a part-time.
So I've got another one piece of content, then I take another piece of content like this.
Maybe you want to do an Airbnb, and actually there's a way where you can control somebody else's property, and then you can, with the permission of the lender, then re-rent that property out. So,
right, so it just cuts all this content, look.
Number 8 is affiliate marketing. So what is affiliate marketing? How many of you have referred a product or service before to somebody else? Even I have.
So I've already created one piece of long content, but that one piece of long content now starts to give me the distribution, right? So now I'm getting a lot of eyeballs. Now the most important thing to this, short form, there are a couple of things. Number 1, we want to do IG Reels. Number 2, we want to do TikTok. Number 3, we want to do Facebook Reels. Number 4, you want to do YouTube Shorts. Number 5, you want to do Snapchat. So that means I can take that one piece of content and post it on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pieces of content from one long form, right? We'll talk about long form in just a moment. So we take the long form and we chop it into short. And if these videos get 500 views each, right? So that's 5, that's 1,000, that's 2,000. That's basically 2,500 views I'm getting from one video that's been chopped up for me without me doing any work, right? Now, here's the thing. If I just do this every single day, so basically it's 2,500 times 365, which equals 912,000 views. That means you can get 1 million views without really doing anything. So again, I kind of talked about this before, but this is the detail of this. So from 1 million people, what happens is we can now, it's free marketing. We don't have to pay any money for that. It's free marketing. And now if we get a 1% conversion, right? So 912,500, a 1% conversion of that basically is 9,125. That's at a 1% conversion. What if it's a 0.1% or instead of 1% is 0.1%, right? So then what we do is we take 1% of that, right? So you get 912 people, sorry, 10% of that, you get 912 people that buy something. So 912 people, if they pay you $100 for something, you make almost 100,000, right? Does this make sense, by the way? So if I show you some of my examples, I just literally create content. So this is the free marketing strategy. So I create content like this. If you see my channel, I've got all these different videos, right? But if I show you this, I take the same video, all right, and I post the videos on here. Look, you see? Click play. Do a refresh on that. Right? So look.
It's all about getting rid of distractions. We know what distracts us. A friend calls you up, hey, you want to go out? Yeah, sure, I'll go. When you know you've got a deadline,
right? So again,
let's go to the gym and you do like a bench press and you're like, oh, I can't lift this, and you've got someone spotted.
Right? Now, look, here's the thing again. I don't care if it doesn't get like millions of views, right? But look, it's 284 views, 245, it's already 500 views, 385, 300. and 60, right? You see all the views, they start adding up, you see? So this is why you don't have to go viral. Instead, what you do is you go compound viral, right? So what we're doing with compounding, so literally I've got one TikTok channel here, then I created another one, which is this one. So this is my new TikTok channel. And again, it's the same look, that video that I put up there, right? 200 views, 400 views, 200, 200, 200, 200, 238, 324, right? All the videos that are getting views, look, 236, 500, 265. This is a brand new channel as well. So, and then what I do is I take the same content and I put it here. So this is my other Instagram channel, right? So, so again, I put the same content. Look at this. It's got 2,000 followers, but it's had 1,800 views, right? And then I've got this on top of my other channel, which is my main channel here, right? So this is obviously the bigger one with over, 2.3 million followers. But see, that one here has got like 5 million views, right? 11,000 views. So if I want videos to go viral, I can make them go viral. But you don't always want it, because what you want is you want a smaller qualified audience. Everyone's typing qualified. Everyone's typing qualified. You want to have a qualified audience, right? That's the key to this. So, and then what I do is even on my YouTube channel, so this is my new YouTube channel. If I type in my old one, which is, right? So this one here has 72,000 people following. So if I click on this, right? If I go to shorts, again, it's the same videos that I post, right? 400 views, 700 views, 400 views, 451 views, 197, right? The views, it's the same videos, but they're adding up. So basically what I'm doing, I'm getting a lot of free content that's been marketed basically for free, right? So this is why it's such so important strategy. Now, the opposite to short is long form content. So how do I create long form content? So when I'm creating content, I'll always go to ChatGPT, right, to get some ideas. So what are some of the ideas for creating content? So for example, I'll go into ChatGPT and I'll type in something like, so let's say I'm doing real estate. Why should people invest in property? Right? And then it will give me sort of all these different ways on why people need to invest in property. So potential appreciation, steady income, diversification, leveraging opportunity. So literally all I do is I get ChatGPT to give me the outline, and then I just talk about the outline. And then I record a long form of content. So the way I record it is so I'm using this camera here. So I'm using a DJI Pocket 3. And what I do is when I'm presenting, I'll just read, and then so for example, I'll read the first point like this, potential appreciation. And then I'll look at the camera and I'll say, so the first one, if you want to invest in property, the most important thing to do is to look at the appreciation and blah, 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 right? So then the second thing, and then I read again, the second income stream, rental income. Okay, the second thing you'll do, so basically I do one long take, and then AI can chop it up for you, right? So for example, there's a really good software called Veed.io, Veed.io. And what Veed allows you to do, it allows you to create a long form of content. And what it does, in fact, let me go in and show you. So I just need to log into this email. And then also, because I'm in a different location now, so it's asking me for my security settings. So it's good because it stops people from getting in. So this is Veed. And what Veed does is you can record a long piece of content. So you see I've got video here. So I can record a long piece of content, and Veed will find, so if I click on this one, for example, refresh. Okay, it's not loading up. Okay, here we go. So you see this? So if I click on, it's got all these things like magic cut and things like that. So I can actually hover over this, and you can see it can cut all the parts out for me that, if I go to, like, for example, advanced settings, I can basically put that one long video in there, and it will automatically chop the video up for me without me having to have any editing. So it will recognize all the, I guess, quiet parts where you're reading, and then when you go up again, it will just cut those parts out. So then you can export it. So it's pretty cool, right? So v.io. By the way, I've actually, all the softwares and things that we're talking about, how many of you found it useful? Because I know in the last session, you're like, oh, John, like, I forgot what software you were talking about. How many of you found it useful to get access to all of the links and softwares in one resource? Would that be useful for you? Just give me a yes if you like that. All right. But you must promise me you cannot give this to anybody else. This is only for the Mind Valley community and also my community, right? So this is a private link. If you go to, because I know a lot of you asking, what's the link? So we put together a resource here. So it's basically got all the softwares and platforms, like for example, Anchor, Answer the Public, Canva is really good for social media, Bubble, Audio Jungle is really good for things like, you know, if you want to put music on videos that you don't want to get flagged, so you can use Audio Jungle. You can use things like ChatGPT. Chargebee is really good for recurring income. Some of you asked me about legal waivers and things like that. So we've got legal waivers, 11 Labs. So I talked about that in the last session about how do we actually clone our voice, right? Because we want to use that with social media, because now you can put voiceovers over without you having to do it. Designer can really help you create a lot of stuff. Customers.ai, we're going to talk about this one when it comes to automated DMs. Google HeyGen, we talked about that for those of you who don't want to create your own videos. So literally we have a whole resource of InstaChamp. We're going to talk about this in one of the social media mastery sessions as well. So please don't give this to anybody. My team take a long time. This is a private link. This is only for, you know, because a lot of you, Vision's a good friend of mine, and I also want to add a lot of value to you guys. So this is the list of all the resources, all the softwares that I personally use, and a lot of these softwares we're going to be covering during this social media mastery. Okay, so long form content, right? So again, it's got all these things in it. So it's also got like a lot of you asking about, for example, Samcar. I showed you on the first session with me that how to create memberships. Remember, the Rash.ai will do audio translation. We got PayPal. Obviously, you know, you guys need to collect money, so PayPal and Stripe is pretty good. We also have like Veed. So Veed I'm demoing now, right? And of course, then a lot of you are asking about equipment. So for example, this is the camera I'm using now is this camera here. It's a DJI. And then what I also recommend you get is a Rodecaster Pro for social audio, which we can talk about in just a moment. So anyway, I will be, my team will be updating all of that. Just keep it to yourself. Really appreciate that, because people, you know, pay to access that, normally my team, because we do all the research, and then, you know, we have a team scouring the internet for all the best softwares and things like that. So it will really help a lot of you, and I really want to help support the Mind Valley community as well. So that's a gift to you. Anyway, let's get into this. So long form content. Long form content, step 1, use ChatGPT to build the outline. Step 2, record it. Step 3, use V to chop it up. And step 5, post it on YouTube. Now, why is YouTube important? YouTube is not a social media platform. Well, it is a social media platform, but it's actually a search engine. It's actually a search engine, all right? So what we're gonna do with the search engine is we're gonna get reach from it. So if I look at, I mean, I've got 2 channels, right? So I've got my main channel, which is this one, my John Lee channel here. We have 72,000 followers on this channel. And then my new channel, which is this one, but I'm gonna show you some analytics as well. I'm gonna show you some analytics. Ulysses can repeat the 5 steps. Yeah, so ChatGPT for long form content, record the content, put it into Veed, upload it to YouTube, and then now you can start getting all these different shorts and things like that, right? So remember, short form and long form content. So check this out. If I go to analytics, if I go to my content, this brand new channel has reached 49,000 people in the last 28 days. I started this channel because I knew that I was going to be running this social media mastery feed, and I didn't want a lot of you to say to me, oh, but John, but you already have millions of followers. So I started this channel in January the 8th, 2024. This is a brand new channel. And if you look at how many impressions it's had, YouTube has shown my brand new channel with only a couple of thousand followers to 384,000 people. 384,000 people, right? So then how does that compare with my old channel? So if I go back to if I switch my account to the old channel, right? Again, I don't mind showing you these stats because I think it's important. Analytics, if I go over the last 365 days, right? If you look at, if I look at the reach, so the reach, this channel has reached, shown in feed, 784,000, right? So it's interesting to see like how it compares to other content. If I do all, right, the content, all of it, again, look, it's reached 500,000 views. Content wise, again, if I go videos, you see the difference. Look at that. This is me posting content on a regular basis, and then I just stop posting content, right? Interesting, isn't it? Look at this. When you post content all the time, look how many views you get, right? And when you stop posting content, bang, you get no views. You see? That's why it's so important to use that the content compounding strategy, right? So that's how we create long form. So you see, you take the long form, short form, and now you get two lots of exposure for free. That's one of the best ways to market in social media for free, right? Next one is social audio. So how many of you heard of an app called Clubhouse? Type in yes if you heard of an app called Clubhouse. So this is an app that I used, well, I'm an investor in Clubhouse. And what it is, it's basically you open the app. You know when you go live on Instagram, you can go, hey, I go live on Instagram. You can go live on audio. So you know when you go live on Instagram, people come in and they watch you. Basically, it's the same thing, but it's audio. So because everyone talks about social media, but they never talk about social audio. And I think it's one of the most powerful mediums out there, because a lot of you don't want to create video content. You're like, John, I don't want video. So you have social media, and then you have social audio. So what places can you go to that have good social audio, right? Well, one of the best ones is, of course, you've got Clubhouse. Okay. You have X Spaces, which is basically Twitter Spaces. You have LinkedIn audio rooms. And there's a new one called AirChat. So what AirChat does, AirChat allows you to make a tweet, but it reads the tweet out for you, right? So, and by the way, that is also invite only at the moment. But what happens is, so what I do is I've got quite a lot of phones. So, I mean, I've only brought one with me, but normally at home I've got like 4 phones. So what I do is I basically hold a phone, I hold the second phone behind it, the third. So I've got 4 phones in my hand. I go live, and I'm talking to 5 audio rooms at the same time. So this is a really good way to also market your product, because if each room you have 100 people listening to you, that means you have 500 people that listen to you every day. So when you're marketing on social media, or in this case, social audio, if there's 500 people that say, hey, by the way, if you love this, share this with somebody. If 500 people share it, you now have 1,000 people coming in. This is how you grow your exposure, and this is how you grow your distribution. Remember in the first session with me, I talked about, there's a really good book called 0 to 1 by Peter Thiel. So he talked about every $1 billion company has distribution. So that's the really powerful thing that you really want to start thinking about. So social audio is free, doesn't cost you anything, and you can literally go live, right? The next one, I talked about this a little bit, is joint venture partnerships. So for example, I'm partnering with Mindvalley. Mindvalley is partnering with me. So I get access to Mindvalley community, Mindvalley community get access to John Lee community, right? So there's a crossover. So for example, when I speak at the events, you know, I'll share posts, I'll make posts about it, and then my community then come to the Mindvalley community. So it's really powerful to like when you're doing joint venture partnerships, one of the easiest way to do joint venture partnerships is this. So what I like to do is you go to YouTube or Instagram or any social platform, and actually it has a search bar now, you see? So if I look for people to do with motivation, right? So I'm gonna search, I'm gonna type in motivation, right? And then I get all these things that come up, right? So all these, like for example, wealth, motivational mania, hashtag motivation. So all these are all the sites that have motivation on it, right? So all I'm gonna do is, let's say this one here, motivational app. So if I click on that, right? So basically it's a whole thing just on motivational quotes. So all I'm gonna do, I'm gonna click follow, right? And I can follow all these ones as well if I want to, right? So I follow that, and then here it's got all these different quotes, right? You see? And they've got like 1.2 million followers. So if I want to partner with this page, right? I can basically send them a message. So for example, here it'll be like, be gentle with yourself, you're going through a lot, but you're doing your best to go through it, right? So I'll say, love this quote, thanks for sharing. By the way, just send you a DM, right? Now, why is this? Okay, this is the best way to get partnerships, because how many times have you sent a message to somebody on Instagram and they don't reply to you? Type in one if that's ever happened, right? Where you're trying to get them to reply but they don't reply, right? Why? If they're not following you, right? If they're not following you, literally they will never see the message, right? So what do you have to do? When you leave a comment, well, first of all, when you follow somebody, so if I unfollow, right? So right now I'm not following this person, I just unfollowed, right? But if I make a post on here, thanks for this quote, just sent you a DM. So when I click post here, this person is gonna start, sorry. So when I post this person will see that I've commented on the post, and he'll see the post there, right? So if I click the post here like this, my comment will show up here, and then he will then click, or he or she will click into my post and go straight into the DMs. What happens, it pulls my DM from all the junk folders and stuff to the top of the pile, so they see it straight away. Is that powerful, yes or no? That's how I get through to all the influencers, right? This is how I do a lot of partnerships. And then I start the conversation. Hey, you have a following, I have a following. You talk about motivation, I talk about motivation. Let's do a collaboration together, right? So now, if you just, okay, so here's my homework for a lot of you as well. You're gonna spend 5 minutes a day, 5 minutes a day, commenting on other people's posts in your niche. This does two things. One, their followers will see your comment, so you'll get more followers that way. Secondly, it sets up the collaboration. So for example, let's say this John Lee guy keeps posting on my post. Who is this guy? Then they check out my content and go, wow, this is really cool, right? And then that's how we start conversation. So the first step is to get discovered in the DMs. Second step is to talk about a collaboration, right? So Ashu says, you mean we should not follow them first? No. I said, no, you should follow them. I mean, I just unfollowed just to show you that even if I'm not following the page, that person will still see your comment, right? Whereas if I'm following them and I send them a DM and they're not following me, they won't see my DM. So that's why it's important to make a post, something really good about that. For example, if I go there now, and I say, for example, let's find a quote. People will forget what you said, people will forget what you did, but people will never forget how you made them feel. This is so true. And one of the reasons I love to run live in-person meets because the feeling is very different and a much stronger connection. People don't remember the content all the time, but they remember the time you sat down for coffee and talked about lots in life. Now, let's say, for example, right now, you're like, for example, my English is not good. I got a lot of spelling mistakes. I'm dyslexic, right? So let's say you make posts like this and you're like, oh, I'm not sure if that's good or not. So again, how do we use social media marketing combined with AI? So what I would do is I would go to ChatGPT, right? I would start a new one and I'll say something like, rewrite this to sound better and more personal, right? You see the difference? Look at that. This is so true. So this resonates with me so deeply. It's one of the reasons why I love hosting live in-person meetings. The connections we form face-to-face are so much more powerful. People might not always remember the content, but they do remember the moments you shared over a cup of coffee. So you see, they rewrite it much better than me. So and I can copy this, go back to here and just paste it there like that and click post, right? So now John Lee is now, so you have to leave a meaningful comment. You can't just leave like an emoji, like hi or yes, like try and make it like a paragraph so people read it, they go, wow. Because here's the thing, this is like, when people follow you, they need to discover you. That's how you get followers. How many think it's a powerful strategy, by the way? Type in yes, right? Okay, let's go to the next one. So that's how I form a lot of partnerships. Okay, the next one is podcasts. So podcast is a really good piece of software that I all want you to start thinking about. It is called Anchor.fm. Anchor.fm. So what is Anchor.fm? So Anchor.fm is a podcasting tool where you can upload audio, right? And I bet a lot of you didn't know this, but also Instagram, YouTube, you can also launch a podcast as well now. So if I go back to my old channel, let's switch back to the old channel, sorry, the new channel, right? So I can create, look at that, go live, create a new podcast. So I can create a new podcast now within YouTube. Everything's pretty powerful. So if I click on new YouTube channel, click on that, right? I can create a new podcast directly from a YouTube channel now, but also Anchor.fm allows you to do as well. So Anchor is owned by Spotify. Well, now they've renamed it Podcasters. So you can now create a social audio, and the way you market in social media is you can take your social audio now and chop that audio into little voice notes that you can post on social media, right? So when I put like, for example, so 11 Labs I talked about. So let's say some of you like, well, John, I don't want to show my voice, right? Well, 11 Labs will clone it now. So let's say I put that there, clone John's voice. Listen to this. It's basically take that.
This resonates with me deeply. It's one of the reasons I love hosting live in-person meetings. The connections we form face-to-face are so much more powerful. People might not always remember the content, but they do remember the moments we shared over a cup of coffee, talking through the challenges they're facing in life.
How many think that sounds like me, by the way? Type in yes if you think that sounds like me, right? Yeah, it's almost there, right? It's not bad. So when I talk about these like mini podcasting, you can go to YouTube, create a podcast, you can go to Anchor, create a podcast, and you just talk, right? People listen to your podcast, and then you basically market it through social media. If you look at the big, podcasts out there, people like, the Diary of the CEO, the Joe Rogan, like all these guys, they all use social media. They put their podcast on social media, right? So a really easy way to create content is to just interview people. And then you put it into social media, it chops it up. How many of you seen a lot of these clips online where where people are being interviewed all the time, and then they chop those parts up, right? And it creates a lot of it just creates a lot of value, because again, if I don't have to show my face, I can show my voice. And that's why social audio and podcasting is a really good tool to be able to get a lot of reach for free, right? And I know a lot of you have a lot of questions. What I'm going to do is I'm going to again, once we finish the content at the top of the hour, we'll save some time for some Q&A. So you can ask your questions then, and Bianca and I will do a Q&A with you, if that's okay. So because I've got so much content to teach. All right. But this is one of the best ways to market social media. So podcasts is one of the best ways to get a lot of reach. If you look at people like Jay Shetty, right, Jim Quick, they're all personal friends of mine. They've got big podcasts. And what they do is they use podcasts to drive the views, to drive the awareness. Remember what I said, awareness times attention equals income. Business creates cash flow. The cash flow invested creates wealth. Does that make sense? Type in yes if that makes sense, right? So that's why I love podcasting. And if you look at, like if I go to Veed, for example, I can create a new podcast. Let's go back to Veed. Oh, go to dashboard. So I can record a podcast directly from Veed as well, and I can turn it into what we call an audiogram, right? An audiogram. Let me give an example. So here I can just basically do audio only, right? Allow, testing 1, 2, 3. So click audio. Hi, this is John Lee here, and welcome to today's podcast. Today's podcast, we're going to talk about blah, 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 blah. And click stop. So you see how it starts recording, and then I can then stop the recording. So it basically creates like a audiogram for you, right? Now you can take that audiogram and post it on social media because it's now animated. So you can actually have an audio Instagram post because it's an audiogram. That's what we call them. Does that make sense? Type in yes if that makes sense. And you can put a picture of you there like this if you want. All right. So it's pretty good. All right. Next one, article writing. So one of the best ways to market your products and services is to use article writing. So how do we write the articles? So one thing I love to do is, so ChatGPT is good for article writing. If I go back to ChatGPT, so if I come back here, I can say, okay, and then I can say, write an article on this, right? You see, how cool is this? So you can take one thing that you say and just write a whole article on it, right? And one of the best ways to post an article is to use LinkedIn. Oh, not that one. LinkedIn, right? So on LinkedIn, there's a button that says write article. If I click on that, it's going to allow me to write an article now, you see? So literally all I do is I'll go back to ChatGPT, right? So it's writing all this stuff out. Okay, copy. Now obviously you would go back and change it, right? But I'm going to show you an example of how this works. So I'll just paste it there like that. Okay, and then I can have the title, copy, paste it there like this. Get rid of that. All right, so I can come in here and I can basically, I'm just creating an article now, you see? Now, of course, you would make it a little bit more personal, but this comes from, me talking about this whole thing. Conclusion. All right? So now if I want to, I can get a picture, I can upload a picture there, but if I click next, I can post this now, right? If you want to get pictures, so I can basically go back. Scott. I can get a picture or create a design. So Microsoft Designer, right? So yeah, generate. This, you see how powerful it is to create social media content just using AI now, right? So this one looks good. Let's click on this one. Done. Right? So now it's got an image there designed by AI. You see? Powerful, yes or no? And here's what you want to do as well. Here, so let's say I'm promoting a meetup, I can say, hey, if you would love to meet face to face and mastermind ideas, check out www.johnlee.com. Right? So now I can hyperlink this, copy, go back to link, and then paste my link there, click apply. So now these articles, if I click next, right? Tell your network what this edition is about. So again, it's asking me for text, so I'm gonna put some text there. So I'm gonna just say, come back to ChatGPT, summarize this in a short paragraph for LinkedIn. You see how powerful this is? Copy that, go back to LinkedIn, paste, publish. So it says post to anyone plus subscribers, or what you can do now, you can also just post to, you can just post to subscribers only, but it's also got brand partnerships now. So now you can monetize your articles if you want to. So I click, go back, publish. And I can also schedule it for later as well. So schedule this to go out, you know, on the 7th of April, and click next. So now you can do all these things at the same time and then post or publish, right? So this article has now gone out, right? So get the link to the article. Now I can promote it. So basically you can create your own BuzzFeed, your own Business Insider. So articles, why are so important for social media marketing is because they have search engine optimization ranking. And because now you put an article out there, it starts ranking on LinkedIn, everyone starts clicking on it. Now you start to get outside traffic as well as LinkedIn traffic, as well as your subscriber traffic. LinkedIn has the ability to, so almost 5,000 people who are part of that, and they can subscribe to it. And every time you make a post, it sends to every single subscriber. So now you have a strong readership. Is this powerful, by the way? Type in yes. So article writing is really good. And we can use, I mean, it took me less than 5 minutes to do that? It's insane, right? Number 7, live streaming. So I love to live stream a lot. For example, I can turn this camera on and I can turn it, I can have it portrait or vertical. So what type of live streaming do you want? So I have a phone here. This is Facebook Live. Phone here, Instagram Live. Phone here, YouTube Live. Phone here, TikTok Live. And I just go live, and then I just talk, right? Now, if you want to do it a little more elegantly, there is software that can help you do this, right? So, look, I'm just trying to teach you everything, all the hacks and things I've learned in the last 20 years. I see so many people struggling with social media and how to make money from social media. Like, it's so easy for me. Like, it's so easy to make money from social media because social media gives you the attention. People know who you are. Like, even when I'm walking around, it's like, oh, hey, oh my God, you're John Lee. Oh, wow, I watch your stuff on social media. Or, oh my God, John, I'm a member of your Success Club. Oh my God, John, I'm one of your platinum members, right? So I just meet random people on the street, and because they see all of my content, this is the thing, right? And all these strategies I'm telling you right now, it's free to do this. It doesn't cost any money. You don't have to spend millions of dollars on marketing. This is the free marketing strategies. By the way, as we go through the social media mastery, I'm going to show you how you don't even need to do any of this if you don't want to. And you can just pay social media money and you can get millions of views on social media with no followers. Would that be useful? Right? I'm getting lost when I'm doing live. Anyway, I can record it before. Yeah, you can. So you can pre-record it. So I'm about to show you the software. So the software that I use is called Restream, and again, it's on it's on the link of resources that I've given to you. So make sure you can check it out. But what this one allows you to do, I love this one. Do you know why? Everyone type in why. Because I travel a lot, right? For example, right now I am traveling, and let me go into this for a second. Log in. I need to get my two-factor authentication. By the way, you should always have two-factor authentication on all of your social media. Okay, let me go in. Oh. Okay. So what this software allows you to do, because I travel a lot, let's say I'm going to fly to, for example, I'm flying to Australia, right? So I'll be in Australia. I know from LA to Australia, it's like, what, 20-hour flight? So I know in that 20 hours, I mean, I could go live on the plane, but it's too loud, it's going to annoy people, and the internet connection is not stable. So what do? I pre-record the live session, and then I'm going to go to Restream, and then I'm going to say upload. I will then upload my video. Then, so these are my pre-recorded videos here, right? So this is me going live, Instagram live or IG live, overcome failure. I click next, and then it's going to ask me where I want. So the title of this is test. I can say, okay, what day do I want it to go live on? Okay, I'm going to fly on Friday morning. So I'm going to go on Friday, and I want it to go Los Angeles time. I want it to be 11 a.m. right? I click next. Okay, where do I want to go live? Okay, let's click on, Instagram. I can turn on Instagram, YouTube. I can turn on Facebook. I can turn on LinkedIn. I can turn on Telegram. I can turn on X and click create event. So that means on Friday at 11 o'clock, it's going to go live on all platforms automatically whilst I'm on the plane sleeping. I think that's pretty powerful. And in my Instagram live, I'm going to say things like, hey, my funnel is really simple. My funnel is really simple, right? This is how you make money. This is how you monetize. So all I do is I do social media marketing, right? And what I want to do is I drive the social media marketing into some kind of list, right? So now I'm capturing the details so I can send them emails. And then all I do is I send the emails to the offers. That's it. That's all I do. I do social media marketing. I get a list. So I've got a list of all the email addresses and telephone numbers. For example, let me see how many emails I sent. Well, not what I sent, my team sent. How would you like to find it useful to see how many emails that I'm sending? Type in yes. Right? So this is how you make money. I do a lot of consulting work. Like, people say to me, John, like, can you help me double my income? Yeah, it's easy. How do you do it? Well, have you got an email list? Yeah, okay, let's do this. So in the last 30 days, I sent 339,000 emails. I had 100,000 people open the email, and I got 4,000 people going to my shop to buy something. That's it. That's literally it, right? Literally, I could end the social media mastery program right now. And with those three things, you can go, obviously I'm not. But that's all you need to know if you want to make money. That's it. Debbie says, what are you selling? I have a lot of things. I have real estate that I sell. I have a consulting program. So if people, and here's the good thing about this, you can filter people out. For example, my consulting, I charge 20,000 a month, but the companies have to be making over $1 million, right? So I might send an email out saying, hey, are you in business right now? Are you making over $1 million in your business? You want to go to 2 million, 5 million, 10 million? If that's you, drop me a message. My consulting fee is 20,000 a month plus equity in your company. So things like that. I also run a lot of retreats. So for example, we run a retreat in Bali, and then I just say to people, hey, we're running a retreat in Bali. If you're interested, click here and buy, right? Or for example, I'm in LA right now. So when I finish this session, I'll be going downstairs and we have some of my masterminders so our masterminds look like this. So, you know, when I'm traveling around the world, I don't know, let me show you this for a second. When I travel around the world, the reason why you want to build social media is because you build a global network. So for example, I'll say, hey, I'm in LA, right? So I'm coming here for some meetings. How many of you would like to join a mastermind where you mastermind ideas? So then all I do is, let me bring this up for a second. So for example, this is one of my masterminds. This one was actually in Toronto, but basically I just say, look, if you guys want to show up, we're going to run a mastermind together, we're going to network, we're going to do some collaborations. And then they just all show up, right? And then, you know, each ticket that we offer is like 2,000 a ticket. So imagine everywhere you fly, you just send an email out, and then you have 20 people that pay $2,000, you just made 40,000, that pays for your whole trip. So actually social media, when you're flying around the world, you should be doing something called an SLO, self-liquidating offer, right? That makes sense? How do you collect the emails? I basically just use Google Forms, right? I don't overcomplicate it. Literally, I say to people, so for example, if you look at my Instagram, right? How I'm able to send 100,000 emails is if I go back to my Instagram, you will see that I have a button there that says LinkedIn, Linktree. This account's reached 1.7 million people in the last 30 days. Is that pretty good, by the way? It's all right, right? So what people do is they look at my profile, they go, oh, John's in LA, cool, right? Wow, you know, let's connect. So this guy here, Steve, he is the photographer for a very famous artist called Jennifer Lopez, right? So he's following me because he wants to know about business advice. So he's like, hey, John, you're in LA, let's meet up. So then so social media is a big networking tool, right? And what they do is they go to your profile, they go, who's this John Lee guy? Entrepreneur, investor, mentor. And then I put contact John Lee, so I'll put my email there. And then I put this link tree. So when they click on the link tree, how I capture the details, you know, so people want to know when my next event is, they want to know my social media. But this is what I do to create a list. You need to give something away for free. So for example, I give away this free mini course, right? This is how people get on my list. So here's a little free mini course, and then they download it. And then what we do is once we've done that, we've now got a list, we just send them an email. So really simple thing, social media, a lot of content using AI, all the things I've taught you, articles, all that stuff, right? And then you drive it to an opt-in page. Live stream is the same. If I'm on live, I'm like, hey, I've got a free social media mini course. If you're interested, download it and go through the videos, right? Stories is also really good. So Instagram stories, you can do something called a swipe up now, right? So for example, if I go to my Instagram, right? So Instagram story would look like this, right? So this is an Instagram story. So on this Instagram story, I can put any link on here. I can put, you see where it says follow my new page at Instagram? So people click on that and then it goes to my new page. Or I can put a link there to my free PDF document. I can put anything I want there. So Instagram stories are also a really good way to start generating a lot of leads as well, right? Number 9 is automated DMs. So for example, if you go to any one of my posts and you comment the word event, it will send you an automated message back. So that's the software I use called Mobile Monkey. Again, it's on the list of resources that I sent to you. But basically what happens, you can connect Mobile Monkey with Instagram, and you can say, anytime someone DMs me, send them a message automatically from me. Anytime someone comments a specific word, like, you know, John, when's your next event? Because the reason why I use the word event, because people keep asking me about my events, right? Oh, John, like, when's your next event in Australia? When's your next event in Dubai? When's your next event in London? When's your next event in... So I run a lot of these masterminds. And because people can ask me, I can't reply to every person. So what I did is I created an automation where people can actually, if I come into here, you can see it. So this is, I can create an automation on Instagram, and it says, Instagram IG comments, reply to a post, comments with a DM. So if I click on that, if I add, right? I can say anytime someone comments the word event, add